Life update. I engaged, pregnant, CEO of my company, all these huge changes that I like. If you told me a year ago, I would be like, Abby who? Like, Abby who? Okay, hello everyone. I am not one to make a YouTube channel, but I did it because something's been calling me to do it. I need to just reintroduce myself to the world and start over because life is just changing so quickly. I feel like the girl that I was posting a social media on in the past couple years is literally like dead and gone. And I need to do a whole reintroduction. I don't owe anyone one, but I think that this will help with just showing alignment. Because last year around this time, I launched Multifaceted Muse and I was mentoring Miss Teen Universe Kenya participants as well as different women that I know. And I was like helping them find alignment, finding their core values, things that are going to guide them every day. And I didn't realize I was almost running through the curriculum myself while mentoring them. And I was doing myself a disfavor by not giving myself some time to go through the process that I felt like I needed to as well. So after December, I stopped on the mentorship and I took time to just truly dive into everything that made me me. Update. I engaged, pregnant, CEO of my company, all these huge changes that I like. If you told me a year ago, I would be like, Abby who? Like, Abby who? And now I'm like, okay, this is me at my slowest pace, just being present with myself and allowing myself to become the woman that I need to be. Like, this is what I've become. And I kind of like her. I met the person of my dreams a year ago and I like was almost in disbelief. Like, I think I wrote a note breaking up with him because he just said like, oh, he needs to prioritize other things. And I was just like, I love you so much. I just want you to be great. Thank you for this time. Talk to you later. And he was like, no, 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 you're coming with me. And I was like, planning on moving to Chicago in February. I was planning on being closer to my family. I was planning on honestly finding my feet in Chicago where I grew up. And here I am in Florida still because I found my person and we're building a life together. So that's been really amazing. We probably talked about marriage and everything at the beginning of the year, and we knew that we wanted to build our lives together. So we actually started trying with a kid because I was afraid that I had all these things that doctors would say here in the States since I was little, like, oh, you have PCOS, oh, you can have infertility issues. We were like, okay, let's start trying. And then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it takes a while, it takes a while. But either way, we're going to get married, we're going to do everything. It took 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks. And now I was like, oh my gosh, we need to get married. We need to do all these things. And I realized I was rushing those things and it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it to rush. It wasn't worth it to rush. It wasn't worth it to, oh my gosh, I have like really bad attention span and pregnancy brain. I don't even know where I left off. Oh my gosh. What was I talking about? Okay, anyways, life just started coming together. I started building a legacy with the person that I fell in love with, and I was like, it really was brought to my attention that my focus was all the way off. I was gaining alignment, but I wasn't necessarily doing a lot of the things for the right reasons. I was very much doing things that could be measured by society or applauded by society and not always intrinsically motivated by myself. The pageant, that is the one thing I did on accident. I accidentally won a global pageant. I will say it was an accident. Everyone's like, don't say that. No, like I didn't mean to. Okay. I really was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to South Africa. I'm going to be with the girlies. I get to rep my country. I love Haiti. And when I won, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm repping Haiti and I'm repping the world. And that is when I went into a season of life where I was literally chasing like measurable success by like vanity metrics. And I've never been in that phase in life. I always was like an athlete. I worked a corporate job. It was very much like, here's your measurement of success. But even through all those things and modeling, I was never just fully aligned with me. And this whole year has changed my entire outlook on everything. For a long time, I thought visibility was the goal. I started caring that I was seen when I would do things, or I was noticed, that I always wanted to be everywhere. And I was around people in like places that just wanted me to be everywhere with no actual substance behind what we were doing all the time. But I realized it wasn't just chasing vanity metrics. I would equate progress with motion. I was constantly on the move. I was constantly on the go. I was constantly getting achievements. I was constantly getting pats on the back for things that I was doing. And at some point, it's just like visibility was not the metric that I needed to be chasing. And because of that, I had to literally disappear to become. That's what I felt like I did. I know everyone's like, no, you haven't disappeared. No, guys, like I went into my hole and I was just like, I need to reconnect with me. That alignment that I've been telling other women to seek, I needed that moment for myself. Same thing with my business. We were chasing vanity metrics for certain clients. We weren't necessarily focused on them making an impact, telling their story, or converting anymore, but we were rather just looking to get virality and like brand awareness. And I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous. So when I stepped into all these places of leadership, all of this came together and I was just like, this is my place to align. And I just needed a moment. I just needed a moment. I needed a moment because I realized being seen isn't the same as being known. Outgrowing the performance and now being seen for something that you feel deeply about, something that you want to make an impact around. It's the quiet confidence that comes when you're truly walking in alignment with your life. And that is the same thing that happens with brands that we work with. When they're truly aligned with their messaging, they're talking to their target audience, and they are doing it in a way that is fully received, is adding value to the other party, those brands do the best. They go crazy. Same thing with our influencers. We can have them just do a lot of brand deals with people, but when we started doing events and talking about their dreams and aspirations and what they wanted to do, how they wanted to impact the world, creating community around them, we were like, this is it. Like this, yes, it brought more money in a business sense. That's a sign of something working, but like it brought them fulfillment. It brought them fullness. And to be able to see other women feel that fullness in themselves, I was like, aha, I am meant to walk this path, but I was meant to learn it by implementing it into all of the things around me. And then I can continue to build my own once I have clarity on that. I have clarity. That's why we're here. I needed to build what nobody can see and to be able to reconnect with the woman that I was, the woman behind all of the work, behind all of the motion, behind all the traveling, behind all the awards and the crowns. I needed to connect with her. In that time, I've built systems for my company. I've built brands, I built community, I built legacy, but I built them all quietly. It's been the most like fulfilling time of my life since I could remember. Deep down inside, I always knew, and it was trying to come out through my multifaceted muse curriculum, but it was about embodying what I was created to be and never having to prove what I could be. So I want to tell the girlies, yes, I'm going to answer all frequently asked questions right now. Yes, I got engaged in July. I was already planning on starting a whole life together by January. Yes, I got pregnant. Yes, it was on purpose. That's like a very frequently asked question. Yes, it was on purpose. We were trying. It wasn't like, oops. I don't think I'm a oops person. If I ever make an oops, I pivot it into what it's supposed to be. But you, look, that was not an oops. I really want to let you guys know that rooted in all of it, it was that I stopped doing things for any, like literally a bit of external validation. I stopped performing for applause. As a woman, I feel like once we stop chasing eyes, but chase alignment, once we no longer perform identity, but rather embody it, and once we no longer seek validation, but we seek just creating resonance with the environment around us and the people that are meant to be around us, that is just diving into your feminine, who you're meant to be, and who you truly are. And so I hope to be able to share more of my journey and have you all be a part of it. It's been really amazing these past 8 months. Everyone's like super concerned because they're like, you've been in the house a lot. You've been, no, I've literally been all over the world, not the world, all over the US. I've been traveling a lot, but more for work. I've been seeing my family in Chicago, celebrating every single moment with them. I've been able to see my family down here in Florida more. I haven't had a car in like 2 months though, so they're probably like, they either think I'm just super pregnant or I forgot about them. Neither. I don't have a car. I am actually creating reward systems around me for myself to get things like that. So I have a car goal and I am going to hit one of my personal goals, one of my personal milestones to be able to get that rewarded to myself. Like when I meant lock in, I didn't realize it was in this way, but I really locked in. So I hope that you guys are able to come along on this journey. I'm able to show my full self and not just little itty bitty parts anymore, including, yes, I was a past pageant girl. Yes, I was a past model. Yes, I have a business that is about to be 5 years old. I'm hoping we hit our 7-figure mark this year. We're on track too. But building a 7-figure business in my 20s, building a family, building a legacy. Those are all the things I'm working on. I used to share bits and pieces of what people might have wanted to see, which was more like pageantry, pretty girl, traveling the world. But there's so much more. There's so much more. Truly locked in this year, I realized that I am a creator of businesses, but also not just a business owner, but I want to create community within my business and outside my business. I want my brands to create impact and for people to see something outside of themselves and feel fulfilled. This is for brands, this is for marketing clients, this is for my own teammates. I just love to pour into others, build community, have these events. I'm not a person that likes to maybe even attend the, I might not even attend the events that I throw, but I like to curate things that just make sense for people and fill the gaps in their heart that they are meant to fill and impact the other people in the world that need that part of them to fill their gap. So here I am. I am now the mother, the builder, the creator, the storyteller, the muse. I am everything that I'm meant to be, and I couldn't be more excited for this phase of life. Bringing life into the world is such a blessing. I have had a very smooth pregnancy, which I really think it's because I was so locked in on being the best version of me for me and then for my future as well. So yeah, welcome back to this next chapter of becoming.